Hey everybody, Matthew Solomon here, coach with MatthewSolomon.com. I'm very excited. I posted this morning to ask me anything and I will post a video response. And I was asked, how do I prepare myself and attract a healthy male partner? Two-part question. I'm going to take the gender off of it because this applies to everybody. And I get asked this a lot. I have asked this a lot throughout my life. And here's what I have to say. The first step is to get that there's nothing wrong. To get that, to come to a place where you don't need another person. You don't need something from them. And as far as your past relationships, because I'm interpreting from the question, how do I heal? How do I prepare myself? That there's a past of traumatic experience, a past of broken relationships, or things didn't go the way you wanted, or heartbreak, which there's nothing wrong with that. Like at this point in my life, I've been through that. We've all been through that. Now I want to just to be responsible. I'm not talking about abusive relationships. That's a whole other topic. I'm talking about those of us that have been in relationships that maybe, look, I was on the receiving end, to be clear, of a physically, verbally abusive relationship. And I had healing to do around that. And so the first step in preparing yourself and healing is to take stock of your previous relationships. And I'm a big fan of making lists, journaling, making lists, looking at why was I there? What did I get out of it? There were positive qualities. There were things that had me stay. And there were things about the negative stuff that had me stay. So if I'm looking at it and being really honest with myself, I was in a relationship as I was going through my divorce. And it was very volatile, and she drank a lot and argued a lot and took a swing at me, and the police were involved. And I had stayed. It's not like this thing just happened one time. There were things that happened throughout the relationship. So why did I stay? I stayed because I felt like I had somebody on my side going through a divorce, which was, at that point, the hardest thing I had ever gone through. I stayed because, frankly, we were having a lot of sex that I hadn't had, in a 9-year marriage. I stayed because I felt as a man, somebody desires me, and where am I going to find that? Because coming out of my marriage, my view of myself, my self-esteem, my belief in myself as being attractive and desired, and frankly being worthy of being with somebody, having somebody want me, was in the shitter. So I had somebody who was attracted to me, who desired me, who there was this passion and this fire. And so I stayed despite the arguments at 4 a.m. and the jealousy that would come up, if I was talking to a bartender who happened to be a woman, she would misinterpret that. So I stayed because of that. Right? So in making the list, there's the, what was that filling for me? Where was my self-worth at that had me stay there? And then what were the positive qualities? What were the lessons? I spoke about this in a video yesterday. What did I have to give up to be happy? Right? What were the positive qualities? Positive qualities were I was having a lot of sex. I had a partner with me. I got to learn discernment. I got to learn that I am desirable, and I am worthy of being in a relationship. I am somebody who can attract a woman. So I got to get my self-confidence back, and I also got to learn discernment, to be like, okay, what do I really want in a relationship? Which goes to the next part. How do you attract that healthy partner? You have to define what healthy means for you. And healthy, just to be really careful here, because I see coaches sometimes use this as a make wrong, where, well, if you were in a healthy relationship, it would be easier. If you were in a healthy relationship, things would just line up. The relationships I've been in at the time, I thought were healthy, because in one way or another, there were things that were there that weren't there previously. So what is a healthy relationship to you? For me, it's being with somebody who's personally responsible for their thoughts and feelings and actions. Somebody that I can talk to. Somebody that is on the same wavelength as far as how things work in this world and how to communicate, and getting that we have stories about our past and we can get triggered, but it's just a trigger. So being somebody that I can work through stuff, being somebody that I'm physically attracted to, who's attracted to me, and there's passion and amazing sex. Somebody that I can laugh with, somebody that I can travel with, somebody that we can talk about deep stuff and make fun of each other, you know, like I call it spiritual humor. You know, taking all the like airy-fairy stuff that I believe in a lot of, but also, you know, making light of it. So somebody I can laugh with. So what are the qualities that you consider healthy? And make that list. And as you meet people, where are they on the list? And if they're lacking in one, but you know, you're getting the other, is that enough? Like I was talking to somebody the other day who's like, I'm in this relationship where I'm having this amazing sex, but I'm not being met intellectually. And is it okay for me to stay? I'm like, if you want to stay. It really comes down to what you want and what works for you, and being willing to say, this is not for me if it's not for you. And then there's the things of, you know, once you have those healthy elements, go to those places where that person would be. You know, for me, it's yoga classes, tantra classes. For me, it's going to the beach and fulfilling myself. Because the more I'm doing the things that I want to do, that fill me up, that make me happy, the more I'm going to attract somebody who's into those same things and doing the same for herself. So that's what I got. Get clear on why you were in your past relationships, what you got out of it, what the negatives were, what the positives were, but the really important thing is why you were there, what kept you there. Because if those things start to show up again, you can be like, okay, yes, I am in this relationship with this person because I've been doing this thing where I need to prove myself. And do I want to keep doing that? And feel into it. Like the most important thing in all of this is to really be in tune with yourself. So meditating, getting quiet, making lists, journaling. That's the way to really know what's working for you and what isn't. Because when we're up here all the time, just reacting out in life, there's not a lot of grounding. There's not a lot of space to really make clear decisions from. So do that. Step outside yourself. Turn in. And ask yourself questions. Get curious about what works for you and what doesn't. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any other questions, you can post them here. If you have a question for me that you would like me to answer, you can post that, send me a message. As always, you can reach me at coachwithmatthewsolomon.com.